So WX was one of the characters that was classified as one of the best survivors in the game. But now, not many people really look at WX anymore as he gets overshadowed by other characters. How could a character that was once considered great fall so much? Well, I think it's a combination of a few things. What WX was before and how his rework changed him really divided a lot of WX players. But WX is still really strong. The only thing that changed was how he accessed his power. It's not as easy as just raiding ruins anymore. Before, WX only needed to eat 15 gears and have a wicker to be at max power. His max power being that he had the highest possible stats out of all the survivors in the game, reaching 400 in health, 200 in hunger, and 300 in sanity. And if he was struck by lightning, he would have a 50% speed boost, an aura of light, and immunity to freezing. In addition, he also had a passive where he could ignore stale and spoiled foods. Quite a lot for just being a super tanky Wilson. His only downside was that he had lower stats when first starting and took damage while wet. WX was considered great because he was so easy to maximize. Health to tank anything, hunger and sanity to last forever, speed to avoid everything, and light to avoid dealing with darkness. His rework changed it so that you still have access to all of his stats without needing a wicker to constantly charge you, but now WX is a choose how you want to play character. They now have multiple circuits for each stat, and the player can mix and match what they want for their experience. Want to be a massive tank and have 575 HP? Sure, you can do that. Want to go 11 days without needing to eat? You can do that too. Sanity a problem? You can max it out, or just go regen and never have to worry about health and sanity again. Maybe you're just tired of needing light, so you can put on either illumination or night vision. Maybe you just want to zoom around the world at high speed. Or maybe you just don't want to fight at all. You can do that. WX really has an answer for just about everything. While I was playing, I was always asked what circuits I was running. And I found that throughout the year, what I had equipped was always different. So I think the best way to explain WX is to go through the evolution of a WX playthrough. Starting the game, you will get a lot of basic circuits easily. Scanning spiders, rabbits, and butterflies. Getting the small health, the small sanity, and also your first speed circuit. This circuit is what makes the early game of WX fun. Though this circuit takes up all your slots, being able to get 25% speed boost on your first day is super strong. It allows you to scout your world faster and collect what you need for more circuits. On the surface, you can collect every single circuit, so you don't even need to go down into the caves to collect circuits. However, going down into the caves does allow you to get the stronger circuits faster, so I would suggest going down there early. It's probably best to find a mole for the night vision circuit so you can easily see all the passageways in the caves and the ruins. Try not to spend too much time in the ruins, since for the inexperienced it can be difficult. But for WX you don't even need to really fight anything. Not because of your gear or anything, but just because WX has a smaller aggression range for clockworks. Many clock placements that would affect the player won't even touch WX, so you don't even have to be as scared while cleaning up the scraps and mining the ruins. Just a few hammers and picks will give you all you need for your circuits. Your main focus in the ruins should be getting the scans for the rook, the slurper, and the worm. From there, getting gears and materials are mostly for crafting circuits, and a magiluminescence for maximum scouting. From there, you should have access to pretty much everything a WX needs. You can collect any final creature scans with ease and have access to every single circuit. This is where the fun begins. WX has the most customizable gameplay out of any of the survivors. How you play WX will end up being up to you. Many will stand by only having speed circuits for always going fast. But WX has some fun experimental combos. One combo I think is perfect for ruins are the advanced speed circuit and night vision circuit. These just go great together, as there's no fumbling around with lights and you can maximize space for looting. And the single speed is enough that a walking king or a magi allows you to kite bishops and avoid monkeys. Next are the seasonal circuits, the refrigerant and the thermal. You only ever need one of these, so you use the 3 extra slots for whatever you like. Maybe more speed, or push for more stats, whatever you want to survive the season. The temperature circuits also affect food spoilage. However, the food will only be affected if it's in your main inventory. The same will go for thermals. If you have a thermal, you will basically be immune for the whole season. These circuits also apply their temperatures around them, so other players can cool down or heat up near WX using the circuits. WX's electric circuit doesn't get much love either. Many people say it's not worth using since it's only single target damage. and Wormwood's armor is much better as a defensive Thorns attack. But what's interesting is that this circuit is not a defensive circuit. It's actually an offensive circuit. In optimal conditions, stacking 3 of the circuit allows WX to do 500 damage per second, and 300 if the target is not wet. A player can do about 150 damage per second with the Dark Sword. And what does a fully stacked electric circuit do? 150 damage. If you set the conditions right with this circuit, you basically get an additional 2 Dark Sword hits every time WX gets hit. Granted, the DPS of this circuit is based on how fast mobs will attack, and for most creatures, it's basically an extra Dark Sword hit worth of damage, but on bosses, that damage really stacks up. One is like B-Queen, where a strategy is to tank. The electric circuit actually provides some great additional offense in the small time frame the player gets to attack in this fight. The electric circuit is just fun in general. Have 2 equipped during a frog rain and you can kill faster than Wolfgang. Have 3 and tentacles have nothing on you. With Dreadstone 2, you can basically create an auto Nightmare Fuel form just by standing still. Next are the misc circuits. These are kinda just there but can be useful. Chorus Box gives you Wormwood's plant tenting ability and also a 5 sanity a minute aura. It can be stacked up to 10 sanity a minute. Illumination is a cheaper light source than Moggles, but it's not as big. You can make it bigger with stacking, but it's more based to allow the player to have a light without needing to use up 4 slots. And finally, WX's stat circuits. These are just fun and give flat stacks of stats versus giving diminishing returns. So you can have a ton of one stat and be the master of that stat. Not only the strong circuits, but even the small ones, since many of the good combinations of circuits usually have 1 extra slot left, so why not just put one of these in for that slight little boost? People may find this crazy, but I actually suggest trying a Beefalo out with WX. Normally he can do without the speed of a beast since he has circuits, but using a Beefalo frees up needing to use those circuits for speed, and potentially use them for something else. WX's circuits do steal the show most of the time, but something really strong with him is just the fact that food always gives him maximum value. For most survivors, if they plan to use food for fights or actions, they only end up having 50% of the time they can use a food. A good example is a cooked potato. Cooked potato gives 20 healing, but is only good for 3 days at maximum freshness for a regular survivor, where WX can use it for 6 days. It's one of those perks that you don't think is strong until you start playing WX. And finally, his downsides. Things get scary when you get wet. The short circuit noise that happens, the constant buzzing, and the fact that you get stunned as you take damage from being wet is really terrifying. Not only that, but you lose your charges, making the player vulnerable. The charge system really is not too bad. You get fully charged in about a day, but it sucks that unplugging circuits removes charges, and strange things like being frozen also removes charges. For WX solo, the only instant way to recharge is to use electric milk. Otherwise, I would suggest having a Winona or Wicker around to get you back up when you need it. WX also just has some funny ways to heal that are not accessible to other players. Lightning will give him 100 HP but take away 30 sanity. And gears are just a superfood for them. WX is fun, customizable, and can play however you want. It's just a robot, a soulless automaton, and it takes the player to give this character life. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed this WX analysis. WX is certainly a fun character and you should definitely try out all he has to offer. Till next time, this has been Terra. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and take care.